What's going on, everybody? Sean Daniel with Guitar Control here, and today we're going to learn 5 awesome songs that only use 2 chords. I had a hard time believing this is even possible, but it is 5 really amazing songs, only 2 chords. Make sure you click the link below because we're going to have like the chord chart and tabs, if applicable, for some of these classic songs. And we're going to start off with a Beatles classic, Eleanor Rigby. All right? Now, it's really only 2 chords, and they're super easy chords. You probably already know them. E minor and C major. Now we're going to play the C major a little bit differently than maybe you usually do it. If your ring finger's on the 3rd fret of the A string, middle finger 2D, pointer finger 1B, we want kind of like a fuller sound, so your ring finger's going to go up to the low E string and your pinky's going to go right where it just was, okay? So 3, 3, 2, open, 1, open. And then E minor is just middle finger 2A, ring finger 2D. Now, for a lot of these, since there's not a lot of chords happening, the rhythm is really important. So basically, we're going to kind of play like this. So basically what I'm doing there, I'm kind of really focusing on the lower part of the chord. So like for the E minor, so if you notice, as I'm kind of going through that progression, I may be adding a little bit more of the chord with my pick or thumb or however you want to do it. So it's not just like... That's really not dynamic at all. Because your left hand isn't doing a whole lot right here, it's really kind of important that you add some kind of dynamic to keep something interesting as you're going. So again, if you know the song, just kind of like, I'll try to like hum the melody. C, E. So basically all that is, they're all downstrokes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So if we think of them in groups of 4, I think that's the best way to count this song. So again, we start on this E minor. So we think of a 4 count as 1 bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... The counting is really important to get this because we have 3 bars of this E minor first. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C. 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, back to E. So we have a 3 and a 2. 1, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. Then we're going to switch to the C. 2, 3, 4, and again. So, 2, 3, bum, ba, ba, 1, 1. Back, okay? So again, the melody is really important, and I was just humming it. You can always incorporate the melody too if you want with chords, if you want to do something a little more advanced, kind of like a... So again, if you know, that can be kind of complicated, but it's just adding the melody to the chord. So if you notice, the lower part, the chord part isn't changing, you're just adding a melody on top. So if you just want to play along with the song, chords are really easy. Just E minor, C major. Now the next one we're going to do is a classic song by Jane's Addiction called Jane Says. And it's just an A major chord to a G major chord. Actually, G major to A, if you want to start with the G. So it sounds like this. So if you look at my strumming pattern, it's down, down, up, down, up, down, up, 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 down, up. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up, 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 down, up. So the G major chord is down, down, up, down, up, down. The A chord is up, 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 down, up. Really kind of like a cool groove. And if you really want to play it exactly how they play it, all you have to do is when you hit the A major chord, you you have to hit the 4th fret of the D string on the 3rd strike. So if we start with the G, A. So it's really kind of inflecting an A major chord by adding the 4th fret of the D string. You can do it with your pinky finger or your ring finger, whatever's more comfortable. Or you can just skip it entirely if you just want to maybe play along with the song, sing along with it, sing with somebody else. It can be as easy as just G to A with one inflection. This whole song, it's awesome. Now the next one is a song that's very near and dear to my heart. Eagles of Death Metal, I Only Want You. Absolutely awesome band. Jesse Hughes and Josh Homme are most of the band most of the time. And if you haven't heard of them, definitely check it out. This is a really cool song. Now, it's an electric guitar song, which is down-tuned, but basically it's just going to be an A to a C. And we're going to use more power chords for this one, so we're actually going to start on the 5th fret of the E string, make a power chord, 7, A, and then 7, D with your pinky. And this is another one that's really steady with the downstrokes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the thing about the counting is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the last beat of A's bar is going to be the C, which is the 8th fret on the low E string. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You can just do a 2-note power chord if you want. Now, what I just did there is something that kind of mimics what they're doing with the electric guitars and the downtuning is just chromatically walking the 5th fret from the 8th fret, the A to the C, backwards. So 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5. And then sometimes they do kind of like a little bluesy thing where maybe you want to add your pinky 2 frets higher than your ring finger is. So now my pinky is grabbing the 9th fret. So, awesome song, only 2 chords. You can kind of start getting a little fancier with those chords, but at its heart, it's just these 2 power chords. I Only Want You, Jesse Hughes, the man. Boots Electric is his alter ego, I suppose. So the opposite of Jesse Hughes would be the boss, Bruce Springsteen. Born in the USA, another really famous song that only uses 2 chords. Now, the synth part might be kind of like the more famous part, but if you just want to play a version of this, you really only need an E major and a B major. So again, the melody of this song would sound something like this, which is kind of played on like a synth in the actual recording of it, but that is played over a B major chord. So it's like, if you just want to kind of chug this chord, you play it as 2A, 4D, 4G, 4B, or you can just play the 4th fret, like a A chord, 2 frets higher. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. It's really just back and forth between those 2 things. Now, again, the way you play it is pretty important because of the rhythmic nature of it. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and is going to be how we're going to do it again. And we're still doing it. I'm palm muting it a little bit because you really, when you're trying to mimic the boss, you need as much room for the boss as possible. So you don't want to overpower the boss. with like big open major chords. So you kind of want to palm mute a little bit, but just by putting the side of your palm on the strings. Do, 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 do. Da, 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 E. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. And then maybe for the chorus you can open it up to make it a little more interesting. But that's it. B major to E major. 2 really easy chords. So the last one we're going to do, we're actually going to enlist the help of a capo, and we're going to use it on the 5th fret, okay? This is going to be more of a piano song that we're doing a version of on acoustic guitar. Fallen by Alicia Keys. Really cool song that is an arpeggiated waltz, okay? And we only use 2 chords, A minor and E minor. You can maybe take that A minor, make it A minor 7 if you're fancy, if you're freaky. And the way we're going to play it is... we're just going to arpeggiate back and forth through them. So if we start with this A minor, we're going to hit the A, D, G, B, G, D strings, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why it's a waltz. It's going back and forth. You can think of it in 6 or in 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's really just one bar of like 6 of those counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, E minor. If you're kind of having trouble with the picking, you can always strum it. These are all downstrokes again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Do, 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 da, 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 do, do, do. Bum, 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 da, 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 da. Basically, I think it's like if you're a beginner and you're really just looking to find an easy one to strum, I like doing it in strums of 6 and having the 6th one empty to switch chords. What I mean by that is if I have this A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that 6 downstroke, I'm hitting just the open string set to give my hand time to move up a string to get to that E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if you want to get better with your picking, you can use this as a way to arpeggiate these chords. Arpeggiate just means playing them one note at a time. A, D, G, B, G, D. So 5 awesome songs, only 2 chords. Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles. Jane Says, Jane's Addiction. Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen, I Only Want You, Eagles of Death Metal, check them out. And Fallen by Alicia Keys. So master those and then definitely take the next step up to 3-chord songs, of which there are many more. Thanks a lot for watching. So if you've mastered those 2-chord songs and you're ready to bump your game up to maybe 3 or beyond, you're in luck because we've got plenty of other videos from myself and other great instructors to click on, and definitely let us know what you like and what you'd like to see more of, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.